the southwestern part of Nigeria is a town called Esie. Esie is located in Kwara State, Nigeria, and Esie is the town that is generally believed that over 800 people were turned to stone, and until this day, these stones can be found somewhere in Esie Museum. But today, I'm going to take you to see these stones, and the goal is to just look at these stones and take a look at the history, and by the end of this video, we are going to find out if these stones are really human beings or it is something else. But right now, let me tell you more about the story. The origin of these stones remains a mystery until this day, but a lot of interesting stories has been told about how these stones came about. One of the most popular ones is that these stones were human beings that were turned to stones, and this is the story. According to the story, these people are people from another Yoruba kingdom who sent message to Elesie of Esie kingdom, which is like a community chief of the Esie town. And in their message, they told the king that they want to come and settle in his town. And when they arrived, to their total disappointment, they were not welcomed in the town. Nobody welcomed them, and they were very disappointed. And because of this, they went to the outskirts of the town and settled there. But as time goes on, these people become a security threat to the community. According to the story, they were performing some rebellious activities. They were undermining the administration of the Elesie as at that time, which is the chief of the Esie kingdom. Since they were undermining the administration and they were performing some rebellious activities, the gods of the kingdom, who is siding with the Elesie, which is the king of the Esie kingdom, decided to turn all these people, 800 of these settlers, into stone statue. This is the story of how these 800 rebellious settlers that came to Esie kingdom were turned to stone by the gods. Now, this is what the people believe, but when we talk about reality, this story looks far from reality, because when we take a look at these pictures, what we are seeing is statues that looks like it is made by human being, not human being. These statues looks like it is man-made. Human being carved them out and kept them like this. Another thing you're going to see is that the whole people in these statues are sitting down. And I don't believe that these 800 people were sitting down at the same place when the gods decided to turn them all into stone statues. So what we are seeing here is statues that looks like human being, carefully carved, all of them, different faces. All these 800 statues have different faces. None of them look alike. They are 800 different faces, but it looks like it is man-made because it doesn't have the size of a human being, and all of them are sitting down. But there is another story that could prove that this is actually a man-made statue. Here is the story.
The oral source has it that the people of Esie migrated from Old Oyo Empire as a result of a succession dispute. Getting to the place where they settled around here, they settled at a place Okodo, called Okodo. In that place, they were having problem of water. The water there was not potable. And the man that led them, they were led under the leadership of a man called, an hunter called Baragbo. This man, looking at the situation, was not pleased at it. One hot afternoon, he was going on hunting expedition in a bid to hunt for animal and to solve the problem of the people, particularly the water problem. In his hunting expedition, he accidentally stumbled on this object under a palm tree. From there, seeing this object, he was afraid. He ran back home to the then Elesie. Getting to the place, he called on the Elesie. Elesie also visited the scene. He too took to his heel, seeing the object, because he was afraid. On getting home, he called on the Ifa priest. The Ifa priest now consulted the oracle, and the oracle now revealed that this object were formerly human beings turned to stone because of their disobedience to God.
If you compare all the stories that has been told about these stones, you will find out one thing, and that thing is the people who discovered these stones do not know exactly the origin of these stones. But the reason why they believe that these stones were formerly human beings is because they consulted an oracle, and the oracle told them that these stones were people who disobeyed God and they were turned to stone. But when we talk about reality, this is when we bring in archaeologists. What did the archaeologists who came to this place say about these stones? Let's find out.
Most of them are in their sitting position. The other part, like the breast, the body, and every part of the body, they are well polished. But the hidden part, where the edges of knife could not reach, there are traces that they were carved there.
According to the archaeologists that visited this site, they believe that these statues were carved. When you look at the statue, you find out that the outer part of the statue were smoothly carved. But when you look at the edges, you will see some traces that shows that these things were carved with sharp objects. On that basis, they believe that these statues were carved and they are not human. They also identified 3 stone ages: the early stone age, the middle stone age, and the late stone ages, and they believe that these stones were carved in any of these ages, and this is to show you exactly how long this stone has existed even before the villagers found this stone. Another thing I found ironic about this is that the villagers actually worship these stones. They make sacrifice to it, even though their own story says that these are the people that disobeyed God and God turned them to stone, but they still make sacrifices to this stone. It is ironic, but it's true.
As our custom, any Oba that reign should not go there forever until they die.
Now let us leave ACA and go to a town called Oro. This Oro is not far from ACA and is still located in Kwara State, Nigeria. There is a very beautiful story I heard about this town. It is believed that a very long time ago, the queen of the town was bathing in a river, and when it's time for her to go home, she was packing her thing into a basket and she saw something that looked like a lizard and put it inside the basket, took it home, and when she got home, she found out that she had taken